What's in The Rift is intended for mature audiences. This show includes death, drug use, criminal activity, and a consistent undercurrent of existential dread. Any children discovered listening to this show will get the hammer.
Our story starts on an unseasonably warm night in Orlando, Florida. It is 9:15 p.m. on a Saturday. This story continues in a narrow, clandestine room in an apartment on a humid night in what was once Orlando. Our story continues now with Court and Bruce. Our story continues with Blanche Boyet driving her vehicle at the edge of a canal. Our story continues with a recently unconscious Jackie McCloud. For the first time since this night began, all of you have done something that you originally intended to do, which is meet up. Our story continues with Court Farrokh in a park in the early morning hours. Our story continues with Blanche Boyet and Ace standing at the end of an alley, facing down two UCRI employees approaching her. Our story continues with a furious Victoria. Our story continues with Court Farrokh. We rejoin our story already in progress. Bruce, Jackie, and Toska have approached the Manchester Center for Study from the adjoining woods. Our story continues in a parking lot outside of a former Burger King, in an SUV that doesn't belong to its occupants, in a town that they are unfamiliar with, in a world that isn't theirs. Our story continues in Brantford, Ontario. Our story continues in Manchester, Tennessee, or what's left of it. In the deconstructed halls of a former mental facility where 6 friends are discussing how best to end the world.
Okay, group huddle time.
I say we remove her from existence.
Jesus.
I'm totally not gonna die for a world that barely gave a shit that I existed.
She just fucking told Bruce to commit suicide. That's fucking nuts.
All of us. She told us all to remove ourselves from existence so that everyone else can go on living. Like, we don't deserve to live? That hardly seems fair.
This is a very weird position to be in.
Is it, though?
I mean, we're God, right?
It's super cool.
Bruce is God.
Well, Bruce is God, but, like, we're also, like, we're sub-gods.
Demigods.
Yeah, we're like the Greek mythology, where, like, foam happened and then gods come out of the ocean, stuff like that.
Right. Cool shit. Shit that they still tell stories about, like, even today, from thousands and thousands of years ago.
I mean, if we wanted to tell stories about... Okay, sorry, this is getting to my head. I need to stop.
Yeah, like swans and nymphs and shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I could be a swan. I don't want to be, but I could.
You could be a skinwalker, Court.
I do not want to be. No, thank you.
But you could be. You'd be in control of all the skinwalkers.
Okay, when you put it like that, this sounds really cool.
Right,
but no,
right.
No.
But wait.
Had just like a necklace made of humans, you know?
Stop giving me ideas. This is weird.
We can control, like, everything. We can all do it.
Wait, can we all do cool shit?
Did you not just see my parrot? Why can't we all just fix it?
I flew around for a few minutes. It's not worth it, guys. We've got to do something real.
Like what, Bruce? Okay, hold on, though. This Alana person, all that she was saying is, like, that's the nature of life, period. Whether you control it, whether we control it, whether fucking God controls it, it's all meaningless, it's all pointless, it's all contrived. So why even concern ourselves with it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's meaningless.
That's true. Like, I would never think of hurting people, but she said I still hurt people anyway. So even if I try to fix things, I'm gonna mess something up.
But how can you be aware that...
Well, if you're responsible for my world...
Exactly.
Damn.
How can you even be aware that you are hurting someone?
Right.
That's my point.
Wait, what was the point? I missed.
None of this shit, like, Alana was saying that because you can rewrite everything or you can change everything on a whim or whatever, that's just fucking life, period. Whether you do it or anybody else does it.
I mean,
the universe is like a cold, uncaring animal. Like, none of it matters.
I mean, when you look at it that way, it's really depressing.
Yeah, we might as well just... I mean, if none of it matters and we're the ones causing pain...
Yeah, but we can, like, party like it's 1999 or whatever. Like, we don't have to fucking worry about any of that
I don't
shit.
feel very much in a partying mood right now.
No, but you will tomorrow.
Wait, will we?
It's been a rough day, right? There's been skinwalkers, we killed a dude, somebody peed all over the floor. It's been a fucked up day.
Jason was here.
I killed Toska.
I want to remind you that it's been all of like 36 hours that this entire story has taken place over.
That's, yeah, the whole fucking day's been just a nightmare. But a fun one. We went on a road trip. We were down the street from Bonnaroo.
Yeah, it was fun for us, but Court, you were captured. That's not fun.
I want to pause you all for a second there and perhaps maybe illuminate a little bit of what I'm trying to give you as a moral dilemma here. What I've tried to do is break you out of your character to how you as a player view this now. You have what essentially amounts to omniscience, near omnipotence. Like, you are gods, functionally. Just like any player sitting down at a tabletop game, to an extent, controls the destiny, the fate of these characters as they're written. And so the question that I'm leaving you with, and this is me speaking, Josh, your GM, is do you take the responsibility of the story and make it some kind of wish fulfillment fantasy like that you want it to be, or do you make it meaningful and meaningful to the content of the story itself? Because the tagline for this show is and always has been, fate is such an ugly word. You are, in the context of this, at least, playing with an entire set of realities and talking about it as if it were just, cool, it's meaningless, we'll do whatever the fuck we want. And if that's how you feel about it, that is a valid opinion. But I just want to make sure that I frame up the context for all of you.
Well, it's just us. No Alana. Toska wants to party. I still don't feel like partying because I know you were asking me if what Alana said was true, and I can remember. I have memories. I do feel like I've done this a lot of times.
I mean, there's gotta be a way that we can continue to exist without hurting people.
The people already made, right?
Yeah, that's the part I was confused about.
So, we could put ourselves on a tropical island, isolated from everyone, but it sounds like... Because then I'll just make more people. And I don't even know how I'm doing that.
I don't think you're making new people, Bruce. I think you're just, shuffling them around.
I have an idea. Jason, are you here? Can you come help us with something?
Hey.
I don't know that he's gonna help us.
So in my brain space, he's Jesus, right? Jesus adjacent. And Bruce is also Jesus adjacent, so maybe they know something.
Is this why you don't like me?
Oh, no, Bruce, you're just kind of a square. Yeah, kind of sobering news, friends. Yeah?
What do you know about what's happening, Jason? Like, what How do we ask you questions? Blanche, how do you pray to him? Can I just ask you? Like,
Yo.
He's standing right in front of you. Just talk to him.
I know, but like...
And he reaches and taps your shoulder like...
Flesh and blood, I'm right here. You can just ask me questions.
But, like, do I have to do it a certain way? What's happening?
You're just as much of a god as he is, so...
If anything, he should be praying to us. Because he wouldn't exist without us.
Oh, man.
Agreed.
That on your knees.
Oh my.
Wow.
God.
Got him.
Bruce, you watch as Jason gets down on his knees in front of you and says,
Oh, Bruce, really?
I'm just joshing. Get up. I'm sorry.
Bruce, that was kind of not cool.
You did finger gun me though. Come on.
Bruce, I try to let you know, but you've repeatedly rejected this knowledge. When we first met, I told you that I was a deity, but not necessarily your deity. I didn't press it because it was too early to do anything like break your brain. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, my brain is fully broken now. I do.
Do you know why he's a deity? Like, is he related to you, or...
I don't know if that's how it works, little honey.
Little honey?
But...
God damn it.
Here's the long and short of it. I don't think that it matters that I'm a deity. Obviously, Bruce can make me kneel. So, what is the point of being a deity? Is Bruce in control? Is it Blanche who made me what I am? She gave me godlike powers, but I'm obviously not God.
Say we all, we all agree to just like fuck off, right? What is in control at that point?
Maybe nothing. Maybe everyone gets to decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe that's chaos, and it's worse than when Bruce is in control.
So there's no political structures, there's none of that. Everybody just gets to live free.
Maybe. The point is that you wouldn't be controlling it.
I don't think I was controlling it though. All this terrible stuff happened that I didn't do. Even when I was supposed to be in control.
Bruce, let me give you a little bit of context on the whole being God thing. There is no such thing as being in control. You can put a perfect plan into motion and account for every detail that you can think of. But you can't do it without someone getting hurt. There's no such thing as a perfect utopia, and if there were, it would blow. There have to be ups and downs. There has to be pain and things that come to pass that leave us feeling less, so that when we're not feeling less, we're able to feel more. I think all of us, deities included, can't bear the knowledge that we are going to cause bad things to happen to quote-unquote good people, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself, my man.
Nope. Yeah, nope. Don't do that. You are still a square, even if you are God.
So Alana said there was a way we could seal ourselves off.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
So couldn't we just build anything we wanted? Leave everybody else alone?
I don't think that's what she has intended for you, if I'm being honest. Alana's not, she... It's, well, we're going to get into some moral gray areas here, aren't we? What is the nature of Alana, after all? She's bad news. I don't know if Bruce just made her that way, or if she was that way and Bruce empowered her to be all that she can be. Either way, I do not like her. In theory, sure. I made heaven where the brewskis never stop flowing, and everything, and I mean everything, will get you high if you eat it. I spent most of my time there just basking in prayers from the good folks in Blanche's world. Thank you for that, Blanchie. I don't think that Alana would let you do the same. The way this works out in my head is this. Yes, you could probably just let this broad put you all in a nice little prison and cut you off from everything else. And nominally, you'd be in your little pocket dimension until the universe finished collapsing in on itself or whatever. But something tells me that's not going to be enough for her. You'd have to be dead in order for her to be certain.
Are we gonna take advice from someone who calls women broads?
To be fair, man, I'm from 2,000 fucking years ago. All things said, I think I'm pretty knee-damned progressive for that.
Oh, you're balling. You're doing great then for 2,000 years ago. Okay, but how do we know that Alana and what Alana's telling us, there's no ulterior motives there, or...
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that there's an ulterior motive. She wants to stop going through this. I would too, it sounds like it's awful.
No, in my understanding, she doesn't experience that in the same way.
He gets to see it happen over and over again.
Okay, but like, is anybody else concerned by the fact that she can like tap into people from wherever her brain is in a jar and like control them? Like, does that not set off alarms for any of you?
That is pretty messed up.
Yeah, she's worried about us controlling people's stories and rewriting their history or their potential future, and yet she, from her brain in a jar in Chicago, just like taps in and gives them commands like they're robots, and she's, you know, some master programmer. Like, that is wrong. That's controlling people.
Can't we snap our fingers and like be there right in front of her right now and continue this conversation?
Let's try it.
You all stand in a large...
Bring Gypsum along too, please.
No, I don't want to see him
I'm
anymore.
snapping my finger. Gypsum's there. That's all there is to it. I love Gypsum.
I snap my finger and he's gone.
Bring him right back.
And Herman.
Hey.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Can y'all quit?
The chaos of making and unmaking people slowly put behind you. You find yourselves in a large open room that has an almost clinical feel to it. And you realize the reason for that is that this is apparently an old operating theater, the center of which sits an almost comically structured sci-fi looking apparatus full of incandescent blinking bulbs and large domes of glass with Jacob's ladder arcs of electricity underneath, and a seeming bell jar of sorts at the center of all of it, housing a perfectly preserved human brain and spinal column.
Okay. I do have to admit, this does look like something I would make.
There's a screen on this monstrosity, an old cathode ray tube that is putting out a pretty good recreation of an interface that you're all familiar with. What you see in front of you is the Rift.
Oh?
Alana is the Rift?
You asked to be in Alana's presence, and you are. With Jason, I'm guessing? Still? You didn't unmake him, did you?
No, we were just fighting over Gypsum.
Wow, that is something. Bruce, you made that?
I guess. Well, I guess if I made the blizzard, I'm not really plagiarizing Dr. B, because I guess I made Dr. B too?
Wait, I've always wondered this. Does the B stand for brain? Or...
Yeah, it does.
Oh, Bruce, no. At least like name him Brian or something.
It's just Dr. Brian Brain. How'd you know?
Oh, God, what have I done? This is why we have too much power.
Well, that wasn't revealed until, like, issue 122. Anyway, what do we do? Should we unplug it and see what happens?
I mean, she's the only one that knows the whole story.
I mean, she wanted us all to get rid of ourselves.
But that doesn't mean we should get rid of her.
I mean, that doesn't make us any better than her, does it?
No, exactly.
We're not gonna just end everything.
I mean, You were all talking about how Alana was bad for all these things like controlling people and people dying and all that, but, I mean, bit of a pot kettle black situation, you know?
Is that how the saying goes?
Is it?
No, that's
I don't know.
that's not how it goes. Bruce, how does that saying go?
Kettle black pot?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
right, yeah.
No. I forgot.
Yeah, what is Jackie? Jackie, how do you feel about this?
Have you guys considered we're responsible for all the evil? Why would we stay?
We're also responsible for the good.
But shouldn't everyone have a choice?
I don't think it's safe to just isolate us.
No, I think we should disappear and we should leave the world to everyone else. I mean,
And we do that?
I
Wouldn't
mean, look
something else
from
just take over?
the reality I thought I was from. All those people are dead, all that suffering.
But that's the history of the world, whether we're there or not.
But we influence that.
Currently, we didn't always, right?
I mean, look at your fucked up world. Why would you do that to children?
How do we know there will be a world if we take ourselves out of it?
That's true. If Bruce is the one creating the world, and Bruce is no more, is the world, any of the world
Or does
realities
the
anymore?
brain in the jar take it over? Like, what the fuck?
There's no way we could ever know.
What if we take away our ability to do this?
Well, that's what I was asking, like, how is Bruce even like this to begin with? Because if we can figure out where the power comes from, then we can figure out maybe how to control it or get rid of it.
I don't think it matters. I think at any moment we could determine what caused Bruce to be this way and then end it. I think we can just become set pieces.
That's cool with me. I just don't want to die for everybody else. Sorry, I'm not. That's not my thing.
Yeah, I'd like to smoke some more cigarettes.
Bruce, stop smoking cigarettes. It's not good for you.
It's so much fun.
You can just pretend you don't have lung cancer. It's fine.
Why don't you get the non-nicotine, non-smoke cigarettes?
Oh, the candy cigarettes. Those are
Yeah.
even better.
Here you go.
Man, I could fuck up some candy cigarettes.
You all wanted to come see Alana. What do you want to do with this?
I want to look around the room. What else is in here? Like, is there papers, books, drawers? It's literally just like an empty room with a brain in it.
I can give you my version, or you can give me yours.
I mean, my version would be very detailed, but I don't know that you have all the details that I would create.
But that's the point, is that this... What do you want there to be, Patty?
I mean, I would have like a full manual.
Okay. Then a full manual is what you have.
All right, I'm going to start reading through this manual to figure out how this works.
Hey, where'd that come from?
I found it in the store.
The manual in front of you is a manual for what exactly?
For how this works.
The mechanics of the world around you.
like how all of this, like how Bruce is able to do this. Like that's what I would be looking for.
Yeah. Godding for dummies.
That's why I was saying I don't think he would have what I want.
No, it exists.
No, like literally like a user's manual.
Is there something specific that you're looking for therein?
I would want to know where it comes from. Optional customizations? No.
Where it comes
Wait.
from?
Yeah, like where it comes from, like what causes Bruce to have this power.
You thumb through the pages, you get to a section on origins. And as you start pouring through a long, detailed bit about, where Bruce creates new matter from, where the font of this ability to structurally change things are, and where it comes from is just one last line in this whole section. And it says, it comes from Bruce's imagination.
So Bruce imagined himself to have this power, and so he had this power. That seems like a feedback loop from hell.
Yes, that was my thought.
No, I've got it.
Bruce, if you are God, like, can you even die? Not that I'm suggesting we try that, but, like, if you're God...
What if I imagine...
Mm-hmm.
What if I imagine that I get all my powers from Alana, and then we unplug Alana, and then we don't have the powers anymore?
That could work.
Do you want to flip to the section on what happens if you imbue your source of power into something propping up a multiverse and then unplug it?
Yes. Yes, please. Is that chapter 18?
Yes.
But hold on, if we give her the power...
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Who's not to say she's gonna do something before we can unplug her, and...
Bruce, I need you to not think for a minute. Don't think about anything. Zen, Bruce.
Bruce, tell me about the blizzard.
I'd love to.
He said
So
unenthusiastically.
you see, Dr. B didn't come into the comic until much later into the series. He wasn't in the original
you guys have 3 hours, go.
He thought his daughter would become a prodigy.
Okay, but Blanche, you were thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, if Alana is able to realize that Bruce is imagining that she has all the power, then seems like she would just take it and then essentially be us. At least right now we have like a boardroom, right?
And she could just
we can fucking like
get rid of
focus
us.
Group the world.
And then she's completely in control, not only of people from her brain in a jar, because I don't know how she does that, but she does. And then she can literally create or destroy anything she wants.
Couldn't we just call like a focus group together of like the most, I don't know, I don't want to say best because everybody sucks, but you know, the coolest people ever. And then we can all discuss it.
It sounds like you're talking about setting up some sort of political structure where we all make decisions.
That's always a given. There is no point in the history of the world where one person did not control another person.
What if I can make rules? And I make a rule that we can't change anything unless all 6 of us agree to make that change.
But how do we do that when we can just think of something and accidentally do it?
Well, I think that would be...
That's why I gotta try creating a rule.
That would be the stop.
Jason turns to you and says...
Just end it, kids. Like, end the world. I think that's what Alana was getting at anyway. You're still sitting here trying to find something perfect. That's the rub, man. Every story has to end. Good ones, bad ones, all of them. The only constant here is that you're all the main characters. Think of it like this. Every one of these iterations, you've all rewritten yourselves. You too, Bruce. You're still the same thing, but are you still the same you? Different memories, different motives. Same meat. That's about it. So in a way, you keep ending your own stories even if you don't realize it. This time, maybe just do it where you don't spin up another right as that one winds down. If it makes you feel better, you don't have to be absent from the new thing. Just don't make it about you. Push a bit of yourself into a new world and let that piece of you go on. Or, just accept the fact that you're God. I've been doing it for the past 2,000 years or so, and you find a way to make it work. It ain't so bad, and you probably won't remember this downer anyway.
I think I'm gonna remember this time.
Shh.
I think I could...
She did say we've had this conversation before.
But I can feel it. I have memories. I feel like I understand.
I think if anyone's going to be in charge of the world, it might as well be as somebody like Bruce that is genuinely actually a nice person, because who's to say if, we give up our powers that someone else won't take control and they'll be a terrible person, and they could cause more undue pain and suffering. I don't think any reality exists without pain and suffering, but I think Bruce's, no offense, Bruce, but your simplicity and naivety kind of makes it the least awful I think it could ever be. What do you think?
I don't agree. Ginny, when I was running for my life back there against something that I imagined into reality, I ran past a lot of bodies. And I jumped into a van that had your body in it, that was essentially in a coma being kept alive in life support. It took me a second to try to put all of this together, considering the fact that I just found out I'm God, or one of several gods. But I think Bruce's naivety is actually a danger. Bruce likes fantastical things, but doesn't think of the consequences that it has for people. We have most likely died hundreds, if not thousands of times in Bruce's stories.
Didn't she say that we've never died? That we're the main characters, we always make it out? It's the other people that are...
Main characters don't always live.
But I don't want to do it alone. I want you all with me. We can balance each other out.
And that's why we always come back. I know Bruce in no way would harm us if given the option, but sometimes your choices when you are God have side effects, unforeseen situations. And I personally don't feel like I can handle that kind of weight. I don't want to be the reason that people suffer, even if it was on accident. So I'm putting my vote in for, well, checking out.
Wait, you don't have to, unmake everything. You can make something new.
Yeah, but that has the same problem, right? It's just a new game.
We just can't exist in that something new.
Hey now, I'm feeling kind of personally attacked here. Just because you're a god doesn't mean you're inherently bad. I've been a god for a long time now, and I'm pretty good at it, right? We're not all bad, right? I mean, Bruce, never mind.
Oh, I'm not saying.
And hear me out here. Or you could just give it all to me.
This dude just called the entirety of women broads.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want to give it to this guy. Trust me.
No.
I'm not, I don't fuck this guy. I don't need a hippie at the helm of anything.
Okay.
Well, I say we put it to a vote.
Jason.
I mean, I said my piece, Court said hers. What do the rest of you guys think?
I don't think Jason gets to vote.
I think
That's what I think.
that this is inevitable regardless, that in all of history, someone has been in control and affected other lives with or without their knowledge. And it's just the nature of humanity. If it happens to be us for the current time or whatever, why is that any different from any other person in history with the same sort of, whether it be a king or a fucking...
I don't think some other asshole is going to be able to just make themselves God. That seems to be something that's really, really rare. Present company accepted, of course.
So if the world gets rebuilt without us in it, this is no longer a problem, but that still means it's without us in it.
Maybe y'all could just be normal. You'd probably be different people without that power. Maybe a little less suicidally adventurous.
But how do you know that? How do you know that you without powers isn't going to be part of the world?
Only one way to find out, I guess. So, you're just gonna give up your powers? Maybe to me?
No, that's not... We have to not be in it at all.
Because we inherently have the powers.
Yeah, that's... Then we need some clarity on what's the real deal.
You might want to check the manual on that one, friends. That might be above my pay grade.
Yeah, we might not be exactly the same, but that doesn't mean we wouldn't exist.
I thought we had to stop existing.
That was my impression.
You're gonna trust a brain in a jar?
Maybe it can be what we want it to be. maybe we can...
Can I borrow the manual?
Sure, here.
Oh, here it is. It says right here. Chapter 14, subsection B. It's in cursive. Who reads cursive?
I can read cursive.
Can't read cursive.
I never learned to read cursive. Here you go.
What is it that you want to know?
Can we exist without our powers?
That's a fundamental question that I, as a person, don't know if that I could answer for you. That deals with the very nature of existence, and I think that that's something that you have to decide for yourself. If I change something about you, are you you?
It'd be a new version of myself.
Yes.
You're kind of living your characters, at least, a Ship of Theseus moment yourself. You have started as one thing, and through multiple iterations, as outlined by Alana, you have become entirely new things. Are you still the same thing? That's why asking about the origins of this is kind of a pointless endeavor. Like, you're not the same thing that whatever was there before. And to Bruce's accounting, that's what gave him these powers, was the brief moment of death, the being lost in the void, and coming back with the spark of whatever it was that allows all of this to exist. Is that how it actually happened? It doesn't matter. Because the fact of the matter is that he can, and now all of you can as well. If you want to make a new world with versions of yourself that don't have these powers, you can. Are you the same? That's really a question that I don't think even me, as the literal god of this story, can answer for you. And that's something that we each have to answer for ourselves.
I think... I would argue you're still yourself, because say I have the power, I guess not power, but say I'm talented at playing the guitar, and I'm reincarnated and I'm no longer talented at playing the guitar. Like, I'm still me, I just don't play the guitar. I don't know, maybe I'll play the piano or something. I could do something different.
Right.
But I'm still me.
But what makes you you are your memories.
But there's stuff that happened to me that I don't remember.
Like, the story that you tell yourself about yourself is what makes you you. And if you no longer know that story, you're no longer you.
Grayson raises a very good point, that there are things about his life that he does not remember. There are things about all of your lives that you do not remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say probably more of it than you do remember.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, at what point does the reduction of who you are fundamentally change that? And does the fact that there is life that you've lived that you don't remember make you somehow less complete?
I would argue no. But I can see arguments both ways.
I think
Patty, are you a Gemini?
it's clear.
A Gemini? No, I'm a Libra. Barely, though. I'm like the tail end of Libra.
No, she's
I'm
always
a Libra,
doing
too.
devil's advocate.
It's the balancing thing of the Libra.
Yeah.
If we want to keep this power, I think we all need to agree that we're going to keep it. It doesn't sound like Court is comfortable with that.
Neither is Jackie.
So we won't do that.
Team Khaki.
But if, I guess, Court, not to put you in a position, but if us not keeping the power means all of us dying, then aren't you still faced with the same issue of causing the death of people?
Oh, my problem is the suffering.
Why do you have to believe it's a death of us? Yeah, why are you saying we're dying, though? That's not even been presented.
Dissolving, not existing.
Okay, let me see the manual one more time.
Wait, can we interface with this screen? Alana! Are you in there?
The screen is the same rift that you've always used. However, the illegible posts, the seemingly random bits of information are all unraveled into what amount from this end of it into maps spanning across multiple frames that reach from one piece to another, that draw connections between one version of reality to another. Though difficult to conceptualize, it is something that inherently makes sense to you now, looking at it, knowing the context that's laid within. And though the screen itself is the same, Your perspective on it has changed, and you understand a little bit more about what was actually in the rift. If you want to interact with Alana, you only have to think about it. You could manifest her a new body in front of you. You could completely unmake and remake her. That's what...
Yeah, I feel like it's gotta be our decision, but I feel like we can't agree on what the consequences are for some of these decisions.
If there's a way for us to keep existing without these powers, I would be for that. But it sounded to me like that's not an option.
Hey, Alana!
Almost like, hey, Google, except for, hey, Alana.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
Bruce, from a mesh circular grate on the side of the machine that you had not noticed previously, a tinny, almost mechanical voice comes out, but it is a recognizable voice. It's the voice of that same timid anthropologist that you'd run into in the bar all those years ago, or, 12 hours ago, whatever your perspective may be.
Bruce, what's your question?
If we restart, can we restart without any of these powers?
I feel like I have to state again, we've had this conversation so many times. Listen to me, though. Do we restart, and you want no part of the power you hold here, can you guarantee that not just for yourself, but for the other people here with you?
No, I can't control anybody. Despite what you say, I can't control anyone.
That's new then, Bruce. A god without control sounds dangerous to me. Just like Toska is new. Just like you creating things wholesale this time. Like entire universes. You're getting stronger and weaker at the same time. You're more practiced, but you seem to hate what you're able to do and are making yourself progressively more meek and normal. You've brought how many through this time? The ones not here with us, can you account for them?
There's more of us?
As previously stated, I just told you this and you've already forgotten. By my estimation, there's at least 24 of you that we haven't rounded up and put down yet. All of them just other versions of you.
I'm sorry, yeah, put down?
Put down? Can we circle back to that real quick? What do you mean put down? Like animals?
I don't think I'd use the word animals for this, but yes. We find it's best to get to you before you realize what you are.
What's your choice in all of this, Alana?
End it. Bruce, please. I'm begging you, end it. Close the book on this story. This world, this goddamn reality. Allow me some respite, please. You have no idea what it's like being spread so thin. There are versions of me in 143,317 different worlds. And that number is significantly lower than it was a year ago.
What happens if I just let you go?
If you let me go, Bruce, all the little realities that you've propped up start to collapse. If you unmake me, if you end just me, then the struts that hold up these worlds are gone too. They'll come crashing down into this one after another.
So it's the same either way.
What's the same?
Freeing you means ending it all.
Oh, no. This reality will still be intact. It will suck for the people here for a little while.
And by suck for a little while, what do you mean?
When you all first arrived, do you remember the blank stares? The people looking like they were a shell of themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People here called that reintegration. It's a process that got exponentially longer the more realities piled back into this one. So imagine that, but roughly 140,000 times over.
For how long?
I mean, I can't... Well, I probably can calculate that. I'm mostly computer now anyway. Thanks, Bruce. Hold, please. $65,000 years, give or take a decade. It depends on how many people have died here that might be alive elsewhere.
That's not too long in the grand scheme of things.
I'm assuming you could probably keep them alive, Bruce. You could suspend the biological functions that you seem to insist we all have.
Oh, like stasis.
Bruce, could you get rid of my periods?
For everybody.
I never thought about that.
Now, hey, this isn't a terrible idea.
It's better than destroying everything.
If we put it on pause for 65,000 years, let
Turn
this
it off
all
and
return
turn
to
it back
normal.
on.
This, yeah, exactly. Fucking call Comcast.
Have you tried restarting
no, don't call Comcast.
it?
They're just gonna fuck you over. They'll just turn it off and then bill you for it anyways.
But it would be, from what I'm understanding, a fresh start
Wouldn't they
for
just
the world.
return to what they were currently doing, right? Like, it's not...
With everybody knowing who they are and having control over their lives.
Oh, I thought of it more as like a pause.
Question. Why are we believing the villain?
That's a good point. Why do we believe this brain in a jar?
But is Alana a villain? Like, or is she just tired?
She said
Bruce
herself that she was a
made
villain.
her the villain.
I'll tell you this, from my perspective,
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm the least villainous person in this room.
And a solution that sounds appealing is the one where she dies, so...
To be fair, you guys know that phrase, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter? We could be the terrorists to some people. We could be the bad guys.
We could also be the freedom fighters.
Well, we could definitely be bad guys.
It depends what side you're on.
So, to answer your question, Toska, like 65 million years or how long it takes.
65,000, yeah.
Sorry. 65,000 years later, what if, like, everything's back to normal, we're all hanging out at a coffee shop, and I just think, what would it like if everyone's koalas? And then, boom, we start all over and everyone's koalas and no one remembers anything.
That sounds awesome.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not, Bruce.
What Alana just said, if we free Alana, this all collapses. What's left is this world.
Until someone makes another multiverse.
No, because it's not powered by all of
Right,
us.
that part collapses,
Is it not?
I think.
That part collapses, yes.
Alana, is that true?
There's no more rift.
In this timeline, I was a researcher, an anthropologist. I had a relationship with Dima, and Dima manipulated me into a series of experiments involving the hammer designed to collapse these other realities. Those experiments took a toll on me. It calcified a portion of my thalamus and a good bit of my spinal column. I was confined to a wheelchair in constant pain. It got to the point that when Dima said he could put me in this machine and free me of my body, I took that chance without a second thought. All the while, a piece of me that was still whatever I am now was screaming at me to not do it. That I was falling for the narrative, but I didn't know enough to listen until I was already in the jar and hooked up to the multiverse. I know why Bruce did it. As these worlds thin and wind down, more of the me that I recognize always comes through. So I can see it clearly now. Bruce trusts me. Some part of him knows that at my core I care for people. He knew I would feel obligated because I don't want people to suffer.
Thank you. This is why I think that's the choice. We've got to end her suffering. She's helped prevent it for so many other people.
And then we just stasis for the rest.
And
65,000 years, we all wake up, this is dope, and things are fine.
there's free will.
How? How is there free will?
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
I think we
You'll
are.
be here in 65,000 years, even if you prevent the worst of what happens to people in that time. But how, Bruce? You'll still be there, right? You could still decide when you wake up that you want something different, or one of your posse who you've imbued with the same abilities. What's going to prevent Court, or Jenny, or, God forbid, Toska from creating a shard where they are the Bruce of their world? Where they have all the power independent of you? Do you want that responsibility?
So then what you're saying, essentially, is in order for this not to be the way it is, we have to not exist.
The power to control others has to be gone. You're new to this, Toska. I don't expect you to be cool with it. The position I've been left in, through no choice of my own, isn't something I'm very cool with either. Look at me. I'm a slapdash, childish conception of what an advanced technology looks like. And through this device with blinking lights and unnecessary knobs and levers and arcing electricity, I am controlling the entire structure of fucking reality! Not controlling. Because that much is obvious. I am not in control. I am the foundation on which it rests. Do you know what happens to me when these realities collapse? I don't have the luxury of reintegration. My body in those places doesn't get macerated. Instead, like you, that body comes through and I have to experience being in the same reality in two places. And then, that body has to be destroyed as redundant. I tried to keep the first Alana that came through, the first me that came through. I tried to push myself into its body and leave the machine behind, but it didn't work. I could tell the second I tried. Apparently, I can't do what I do for the multiverse from a body. Why that is, you'd have to tell me, Bruce. Seems unnecessarily cruel.
If I destroy myself, will that destroy all the people in this room?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
I don't think we should all have to sacrifice ourselves. But it might end up happening anyway. But I think I'm the one that needs to go.
I mean...
Oh, fuck you, Jason.
Bruce. Language.
That's the first time you've ever
Look, man, I know we've had our spats, man, but
I'm
think
proud
of
of
it.
you, Bruce. I am proud of you. You just told your first cuss word ever was to a messiah. That shit is
Don't
dope.
have to look at me so smug like that.
There's kind of a rhyme and reason to that, yeah? Think about all the stories we tell like this. There's always a sacrificial lamb, man. The purest among us, yeah?
Yeah, it sounded great until you gave me that look.
Just saying. You kill the virgin and the fire god is appeased.
He just called you a virgin.
You gonna say that same shit you were saying before, Jason? Oh my gosh. I don't even feel like myself anymore. You're gonna start calling people broads again.
Brucey, I'm just saying.
Ugh.
All I'm saying is that has a nice poetry to it, Bruce. It feels right, man.
It is kind of like the end of the blizzard.
How does the blizzard end?
Yeah, how does the blizzard end?
Yeah. I don't know either.
Well, I don't think I knew until now. But I think I know now that the signal has to sacrifice himself so that everybody else can live a life of peace. And I do think that's what I have to do.
Did it work in the blizzard?
It did. It was a new start for everybody.
And what about the rest of us? Do we still have these abilities even though you're gone? Do the abilities go with you?
It would make sense.
If it doesn't you all know what to do. I trust in you that you'll do the right thing. But I don't think it's worth all of us sacrificing ourselves if there's a chance that the 5 of you could still exist.
Bruce, do you remember in one of the multi times that we've been alive how we grew up together? Or how that one time you saw me on the side of the road and gave me a ride and we became close friends?
I do.
The time I got you out of a horrible situation with some gang members, a misunderstanding, and a lot of bubblegum.
Yeah, you were always the first one, Court. I remember that.
Well, that's all I remember, Bruce. All of my memories are with you. And no matter how you shake it, you are my closest friend. So if you're going out, I'm going out with you.
I mean, you kind of bring up a good point. If all of us really only remember our time with Bruce, do we exist outside of Bruce? And therefore, if Bruce kills himself, do we all die too? By proxy?
And furthermore, if Bruce is the reason that we're here and he's gone, do we want to continue existing without him?
But I'm offering you the chance to keep going. You don't have to do this.
And I appreciate it.
I don't know that it works like that.
We don't know how it works.
We get to figure out how it works.
Like, I'm willing that if Bruce sacrifices himself and I end up going with him, then that's just the reality of the situation. But I can't fundamentally say that that I'm willing to do it personally.
I'm very against anybody dying. Period. Full stop.
Well, we can't just sit here forever. We have to make a choice and do something.
I think we know that we shouldn't be like this. Hold on. I want to go somewhere. If I'm going to disappear forever, I want to see the bean.
Like the Chicago bean?
The bean?
Yes. It's been on my list. Always wanted to take the little guy to see the bean.
Bruce.
Fuck yeah.
You know what? Let's go to the bean.
I just want to see one last bucket list item before I go.
Let's go see the bean.
The bean.
Sure. You want to go see Anish Kapoor's bean?
No, the Chicago.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is that what it's the artist?
The
I
cloud.
never knew.
Yes. Anish Kapoor, the
Cloud
Cloud
Gate.
Gate.
I've never known the name of it. Is it summer at least? Because that little water area sucks in the winter.
It's
It's
October.
not
summer now.
seasonably warm.
Unintentional.
October
In Florida.
Unintentional. October in
All that
Chicago.
beaches.
Unseasonably warm.
Maybe it's unseasonably warm in Chicago as
It's
well.
unseasonably breezy.
It is.
All of you seem to be forgetting that it is whatever the fuck you want it to be.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're gods.
Okay.
Goddamn.
We snap our fingers and we're transported to the bean. Bruce looks at all the reflections. You see our reflections there? It's not exactly like us, but it's kind of like us, right?
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing this whole time. Just been seeing these different versions of us that they're still us, but maybe they're a little deformed. Maybe they look a little better. Maybe they're a better person than we were the time before. And each time we've been a bit different. But they'd always be reflecting whatever happened before back to us. And I can see all the reflections of what I've done have brought us to this point, and I've never been brave enough to make this decision to stop it. And it's only gotten worse. You all saw Alana. You don't know how it feels to be responsible for somebody pleading to you to end their suffering like that. It's an impossible burden.
It is.
Our story ends on a warm October afternoon. The crisp autumn air threatens to overtake the last bits of summer, but it's held off to do one last kindness to a good man in an impossible situation. It is 4:54 p.m. when Bruce McKinney enters the walkway beneath the Cloud Gate in Chicago's Millennium Park. He is entering as a 39-year-old director of data analytics, and also the closest thing to an actual god that this world has ever known. Alongside him, his friends walk, offering their support and also uncertain if they too are walking towards their own oblivion. It is 4:55 p.m. when a 13-year-old boy named Hans receives an odd package in his mailbox. In it is a stack of comic books that he takes indoors to show his mom, Angie. These books detail the story of an ordinary man given extraordinary powers, and him and his friends being thrust into extraordinary situations. It tells a good and true story about a person doing his best to do what he thinks is right, even if that thing isn't always what he wants. It tells a story of great adversities and impossible odds, and how even if there isn't a clear right answer, that it's important to try to find one. Ultimately, it tells a story about people, about what matters about people, and how we decide our own stories. It is 4:56 p.m. when 5 strangers exit the walkway beneath the Cloud Gate, and for the first time, begin stories of their own. This has been What's in the Rift. If you enjoyed our show, please remember to rate and review on your favorite podcast platforms. If you really enjoyed our show, you can support us directly via Patreon or join our Discord. Both links can be found at what'sintherift.com. What's in the Rift is brought to you by Gas Station Drugs.